Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me today for another Reiki Healer ASMR Shamaness session. It is my life's purpose and my gifts to be a shamanic healer. I am a medicine woman. I also hail from the starseed realms of Orion, on Orion's belt from Bellatrix. Okay, so today I want to talk about shedding heavy energies. I want to do some smoke baths. I want to cut and clear with my Reiki master and spiritual teacher gifts. I invite you to just come, make a tea. I'm going to be drinking some matcha tea today. I'm on this detox. I already surpassed my 24 hours. I'm feeling good in my spirit. I'm also going to be cleansing out any type of negativity or negative energy. So right now we are going to get my big arrowhead and we're going to start cutting any types of lower vibrational energies that you've been harboring, whether they are projections onto you. So I'm going to take my beautiful smoky quartz black tourmaline arrowhead, and I'm going to just start pulling these energetic hooks out of your aura. So I'm going to kind of go into your third eye chakra right now, and I'm going to kind of make an incision here, and I'm going to pull this out and then cut it, because this is where our pineal glands are, and it's really important to, cleanse and cut any types of narcissistic projections, any types of shadow people's projections. And I talk about, these types of spiritual attachments and these types of spirits from other realms that could kind of hook into us, and they can kind of influence us to act out of character or act away and push our divine gifts away. So it's important to clear and cut these archonic influences and these types of heavier negative projections from these lower vibrational planes, okay? Especially if you are up here and you're vibing on 6 and 7D or even 10 and 12D, and then a negative energy archon from a planet star, from the reptilian or the alpha draconians come, and they kind of try to siphon your energy. They kind of try to take your inner power. They kind of try to smash your light down to where they kind of suck you down to their lower vibrational planes, to where you're feeling depressed, you're feeling heavy, you're feeling like you have to self-medicate, you're feeling like, I just feel so not myself, not in my element, it's energetic gunk that you need to clear out, okay? So I am a Reiki master, I'm a spiritual teacher, I'm a shamaness. I derive from a very long lineage of midwives, doulas, medicine women. I have medicine woman great grandmother spirit in my direct auric field. She was my great grandmother in this lifetime, and her name was Antonia, and she helps assist with these cleansings with Mother Gaia and also crystals and stones. And then I have another medicine woman, crone energy, who was a very important figure to me. She was my mother in a past Indian life on Earth, Mother Realm, Gaia, and she was actually my son's great grandmother. And I actually knew her, and she was the one who inspired me and taught me. She inspired me how to read cards. This was many years ago when I was very, very young, and she ended up passing away because she was 101. I knew her from her age 94 to 101, and she was a medicine woman healer. She was a spiritual teacher. She was very much that nurturing, mother calming energy that I needed in my life. And she was also a past mother figure in my Indian life, to where she would read rune stones and cards and make a living off of, her spiritual gifts. So she's also in my direct energy field as one of my spirit guardians, or what you can call a guardian angel, if you will. So I am going to kind of both Mole or Modesta and Antonia, they're asking me to pull out from your third eye. Okay, so this is where they want me to focus on cleansing you guys today, and they assist me in all of my sessions. They assist me with my herbal plant remedies, whether if I use cinnamon, if I use hyacinth, if I use any types of flower herbs, you know what I mean, whether it's hibiscus flower, chamomile, calendula, watercress, rose hips, and so on and so forth. Even with the salts, they assist. So I also want to take this beautiful big smoky quartz. This is just a pure smoky quartz point, and he hails from like the father star systems on Orion's belt, right? So like Bellatrix as well as Mintaka, okay, and just the other little star communities there that are from the Hunter Orion, to where I also am a walk-in soul. So I am Samara Andara. The other soul who previously was in this body, her spiritual name was more Samara Anaya. So we both share that. Also, the seraphim are here. So I don't know if you know what the seraphim are. The seraphim are the highest angels in the angelic paradise kingdom of the heavens above. So the seraphim angels are over the archangels, and they're over the cherubim, the cherubs. The seraphim angels are musical angels. They have tons of gifts. They're ascended, okay? I also want to say that the cosmic angelics are here with us in this session. Okay, they're also assisting. I have many spirit guardians of angelics, different types of angelics, the angels of fire, the ones that transmute that negative energy and burn it away so we can live from our full light, our full potential, our full truth, okay? And kind of live as our healer selves, our best energy, our best version and vibrational selves, okay? So we're going to be pulling and cutting these just like hooks, some negative lower vibrational energies, and a lot of the these, I don't know what to call them. I don't want to call them people because we're all spirits vibrating on the human plane. But the realms of like the reptilians, some reptilians don't know that they're reptilians, okay? Some Alpha Draconians are not aware that they are Alpha Dracos. They really don't know. So I'm going to make a blend here. Okay. And we're just going to kind of put some tarragon as the bed, as well as rosemary, because these are very healing agents, like, not agents, but just like healing plant Mother Gaia gifts. So I'm laying a bed of tarragon here, which you can see, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of rosemary because Mother Gaia, she has these gifts on Mother Earth for us, so we can integrate, especially for us spiritual herbalists and healers, okay? So I'm just going to kind of integrate that, as well as this. This is very important to use. You could read that. And I have another kind as well right here. Sorry, you guys, if it's not in the focus. I don't have a camcorder. This is like strictly from my phone. I am recording from my phone, so that's just what it is right now. And I want to do some oregano as well. I feel like this property, this really can help as well. I love the scent of oregano. So we're just going to kind of put that there. And I want to do some sweet basil. These are what Antonia and Modesta Molde are telling me to use for your session today. Sweet basil, where are you? Here we go. I'm pretty sure I had the, yeah, so sweet basil from one of my favorite spice brands, Spice Islands. This is like my go-to. I also like See if I can find a star anise. Of course, she's on the corner here. I like Body&Addictions. I like their cinnamon sticks. There's also another herb blend that I love very much. A brand, but we'll get into this later. We're going to do some deep energy cleansing today in this session, okay? So this is going to be some oregano to kind of sweeten the vibes, kind of release those heavier toxic energies. And like I said, like a lot of realms, like spirit realms that are embodied in the human body, like reptilians, some of them don't know they're reptilians, some of them don't know they're toxic, like they're unaware because they're vibrating at that lower like 2D 3D frequency, to the point where like they're just so imbued into the matrix that they don't know what it is. They're not awakened, they're not aware. And you need to have that level of awareness in your consciousness, in your direct consciousness, not your subconscious. You have to be very alert and aware of, okay, this is what's really going on. I know me. I know, my limits. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know my gifts. Okay, that's them. This is me, and that's what it is. Like, I'm gonna separate myself from any types of projections. So we're just gonna kind of light the sweet basil as well. And the sirens, that could be a direct sign for you with whatever I was just talking about. So like negative energy, reptilian, archon, projections. I know it's a lot. Go back to my previous videos where I carefully in detail explain what an archon is, what a reptilian is, what an alpha draconian is, what really is being hidden from these star realms, to the point where they push you into the matrix and they fill you with fear, to the point where you're not even living your best life. So like the sirens right now, this could be a direct 111. I just saw 111. Okay. So people who are just awakening, there's a lot of you that are just coming into your spiritual awakening, which the first frequency that you will see in the beginning of your spiritual awakening is 111. So this number is connected to not only the divine universe of your spiritual awakening and opening you up to your new found spirituality and your spiritual involvement, but it's very much connected to the angelics who are here with us today in the session. We have fire angels that transmute darkness to light. We even have dragon mothers, okay, from the cosmic star systems up in Lemuria and Pleiades, Sirius. We have elven spirits. We also have fairies, elementals, whether they're earthbound fairies in the trees, the flowers, the plants, wind fairies. We even have fairies here assisting us from the planet of Venus, which I had another past life on, very much as a Venusian fae. Venus fairies. Fae go into the fairy realm. Fairies are very real on those realms, to where the archonic reptilian human agenda will like to push that into things like universal tourist attractions, Disney and cartoons, and then say, okay, this is fantasy, this is for children. But us awakened ones who have spiritual gifts, we know that they're very much alive and real on our past starseed lives, as well as right now, even on Earth, and they surround us. When you take a walk under the stars, when you go outside in nature on your lunch break and you go to a garden with fountains, or just go by the trees in the forest, they're called nature elemental fae, and they are very much assist us in many different ways. They're fairy energies, they're elemental beings, they're elven energies, okay? They're daemons of the forest, okay? Which are not like to be feared, and this is what the archonic reptilian alpha draconian agendas like to put into the category of fantasy. And then if you really believe in them and if you tell them, then they like to use systematic judgment, and they will judge you and be like, okay, like you're not in touch with reality, like you need to be on this medication, and then they will like society norm you and be like, and this is why it's important to be conscious and aware. And I will like literally like tell you, like, if you believe and if you know that they exist, which they exist on this earth plane as, like I just said, nature elementals, okay? And they also do exist in, you know, Sirius, Sirius, that's a star constellation, the Syrian elves, okay? I just got a projection. Also, they exist on, you know, Lemuria and Atlantis, because even though they were bombed, they're still existing in the spiritual realm. Too, there are Lemurian star dragon mothers. Okay, there are dragons there in those realms, in those star constellations, and the dragons are the guardians of the star constellations. Tons of dragons, to where they have labradorite. You see this? They have labradorite imbued in their crown chakra as well as their throat chakra. So like labradorite is very much, yes, a psychic stone. It can be protective, but it's a multifaceted stone, to where it can connect to your dreams, you know, and like this also connects to other portals. Yes, there are portals that can be opened and that are opened that can connect you to that star planet constellation. So these dragons are very much around you. If you have a dragon mother spirit guide or a dragon brother or dragon sister spirit guide, it's beautiful. Sometimes the dragons that you that you derive from that past starseed life can even be in your pets. So like the family dog here, she has very much of a dragon spirit energy, and her eyes look like dinosaurs, but I sense the dragon mother in her, and she's very calming. She's very protective. She's very loving. She's like a healer. Like she brings so much light, and I could read her soul, to where like she is a very good soul. And I know that I had a past life with the soul in this animal. Like I know it, you know? So she has come to planet to also, you know, animals are very, very aware of things, and they know like the truth. They know like how to heal. They could sense things, you know. They're very, very, very sharp and intense. Like, so like wolf spirits, they have very like the wolf instinct. So like let's pull him out. I wanted to show you about the wolf. So the wolf here, I also have wolf guardians, 4 or 5 in my direct spirit line, okay? And they are very protective energy, to the point where they will chase away like lower vibrational energies. They'll chase away like any type of energy, vampire hooks. You know, I also have the dragon mothers. Dragon mothers are super strong. They will blow fire on any type of projection and blow it away from me and like transmute it to light. Like at this point in my spiritual ascension, I know exactly like what guardians, you know, and I'm just going to do some tapping, what guardians protect me. And I have very like many, just as you do. Like you might have a crow spirit as well. Like I also have crow spirit guardian mothers who protect me, whether if I was living in my car, or the crow guardians more like come and they tell you like sort of like what's going to happen, okay? The wolves will protect you, and they will like chase away any darker, lower vibrational energies, you know what I mean? As well as the dragon mothers will blow away that type of like gray cord to like an energy vampire, or you also can use rattles. And like a lot of mortals don't know they're alpha draconians. A lot of them don't know they're reptilians. A lot of them are unawakened to the matrix. They're unawakened to what is really going on under wraps and behind the scenes. If you're not awakened, you're going to, it's easy for the ignorance and the unawakened to be like, okay, like she or he's crazy. Yeah, because you don't know, you're not awakened to what's really going on, like wake up. And some of them can't help it, and they just stay in that 3D, like lower vibrational realm, like they just want to make past the judgment, or that they want to like smear your name. They'll do smear campaigns. They'll do character assassinations. They'll start bullying you. They'll do narcissistic triangulations. And I speak about this in my previous videos, okay? So I would like to invite you to sit while I start to pull. And this is a matcha tea. And I put a teeny bit of honey in this. I think I put a little bit too much matcha, but it is how it is already. And I'm on a 72-hour fast, so I have to nourish my body with liquids. I already surpassed the 24 hours, okay? And I was doing my juices. So I have to do this for my spirituality. And, you know, so I keep leveling up in my spiritual evolution so I can better help you guys, and then it could ascend me on my spiritual journey so I can better help you guys and spread the truth, the love, my ascension involvement gifts, and the light. And trust me, I am no love and light bitch. Trust me, I have tons of goddess rage. I very much know when to alchemize the light and the darkness, and when to use which. You know what I mean? Like a true alchemist, we know, okay, we embody both darkness, we embody both light. Am I going to act for my shadow today? Am I going to alchemize my light today? So we're going to take this beautiful smoky quartz, and he wants to cut cords from you guys, as well as I want to fluff your aura later on with the labradorites. But there's also another labradorite, just like bay leaf, okay? Like they have their own powers and properties. Bay leaf is a multifaceted herb. You can banish with a bay leaf, and you could also pull in and manifest to your reality with the bay leaf. It all just depends on your intention and also its magical powers, okay? So Mother Gaia provides these gifts for us so we can kind of use them as tools to help on our spiritual journeys and our ascensions. And I am a spiritual teacher. I am far more ascended than just like a regular Reiki teacher. It goes deeper than that, okay? And this is what I wanted to show you. So this is one of my Reiki I use him as a cord cutter. And this is the Choku Rei right here, which is the first symbol in Reikiism. And then you have the Seikei, and so on and so forth. So we are going to be pulling, okay, and cutting with him. And I want to get your pineal gland, because sometimes if you're frustrated, annoyed, and these could be archonic hooks from those negative vibrational lower entities in your energetic field, and then you end up being like this. You know what I mean? And you don't want to walk around like with that. So we're going to kind of, and we're going to just pull it out right like this. And we're going to slice that baby off. So this is what we have to do in order to keep our energetic imprints and our aura and, you know, our auric fields, our ethereal bodies, our astral bodies safe and clean. It's very important to keep a clean mind, a clean aura, a clean body, a clean spirit. And we do this when we set our intentions for the day. Everything is an intention. Every intention carries an energetic imprint. So if you wake up feeling like, ugh, that could be somebody's energetic imprint projection on you that you carried unknowingly or subconsciously or even unconsciously. Or it could be something from you that you need to clear, you know what I mean? So then you can come back to my sessions and I will clear this for you, which I very much need to cleanse this black tourmaline. I have a black tourmaline here, and he is just waiting to be used. Okay. So we are going to cleanse him with this baby right here, give him like a quick little bath. I I haven't cleansed this. And then we're going to do a little bit more of cutting, and then we are going to start with your deep cord cleanse, and we're going to start pulling out some cords that you've been, you know, kind of clinging to, or that have just been ingrained in you from these projections that you don't even know, like murky, like, oh, what is this that I've been carrying? Like, I don't need to carry this. This is not mine to carry. A lot of times it'll be other people's energies that you've embodied, and you're just like, you know, and you'll get influence and you'll start acting out of character, and then it'll take you away from your divine light purpose to the point where it'll get so deep and so heavy. Sometimes it'll pull you down to the darkness, and then before you know it, you'll be acting out of complete character. Like, okay, this was never me. This is not my energy. These are projections of others who have, you know, casted this onto me with their energetic imprints from their thoughts, or from maybe their tongue, because a lot of people use their tongue. Unfortunately, there's lots of negative energy manipulators out there, to the point where you need to really watch what you know, energy you listen to, whether it's in music, whether it's a frenemy, someone that could be a fake friend, or someone that you just know you can't trust, to the point where like you're like, okay, like I can't trust this person, like I'm not even gonna listen to this bullshit. You know what I mean? So like, I'm gonna just take this black tourmaline right here, and I'm gonna start pulling this and cutting and slicing. Black tourmaline is one of the most protective crystals and stones out there. The most protective crystal is him, okay? Him. Smoky quartz. Smoky quartz puts a energetic force field of protection around your aura and your ethereal fields, your etheric cords, your astral bodies, you know, your cosmic bodies. I'm very much, I'm earthbound shamaness, medicine woman, goddess healer, but I'm also a cosmic goddess healer, to where, you know, it's both earthbound, earth realm, medicine woman gifts. You know, I'll teach about the yoni and how sacred our god and our goddess selves are. I'll teach about, you know, yoni healings, you know, cutting and slicing cords from the sacral chakra, as well as the solar plexus chakra and the base chakra, those lower chakras, as well as, you know, the cosmic realms, from Sirius and Pleiades, as well as Atlantis, Lemuria, Orion, you know what I mean, as well as Venus, Neptune. Okay, I had a past life on Neptune before, and you know, I've also had past lives on this Mother Gaia realm as well, to the point where I know my shamanic roots, and I know how to implicate all of these healings into my practice for you guys. So I did say I wanted to do some aura cutting and fluffing, and then I wanted to start with a deep cleanse, but I feel like we need to do a lot of smoky quartz energies. Open this window more. So this is another beautiful smoky quartz. Also, this is what I wanted to talk about, Numite. He's like 5 billion years old, and that crystal is the most protective crystal. If you could get Numite, Nuummite, he looks like this. This is an astrophyllite. I'm pretty sure like astrophyllite might derive from the Numite family. It might not. But astrophyllite and Numite are pretty up there, as well as black tourmaline and smoky quartz for protection. So we're going to be using a lot of this in this session to cut and clear negative energies, those negative energy projections, you know. So we're going to use the astrophyllite right now. We're going to do some crystal taps with him. And then I'm going to imbue some Reiki in here, the Choku-rei. Kind of fluff your aura, as well as the Seikei. And then I also want to use my Smoky Amethyst Window Seer Crystal. I want to use my Smoky Amethyst Window Seer Crystal as well, to kind of like kind of take out any type of lower vibrations from your auric field, your ethereal field. Let me see if this will do justice right here, because the more smokier it is in here, excuse me, the light, the fluorescence is very bright. I wish the lamp wasn't so fluorescent, but there's really nothing that I could personally do about this right now at the second. So this is a smoky amethyst. I used to feel like she was just an amethyst, but no, she is a, there's smoky quartz in her. Smoky amethyst is very protective, as well as ametrine. Okay, so here's another smoky quartz right here. Sorry about that. This is another smoky quartz. And then we have an ametrine. Ametrines are very protective. So this is citrine and amethyst. And this comes from Lemuria. This is a Lemurian, an Atlantean. Those realms of those higher starseed light beam realms. So I'm going to cut this like this. And then I gotta take a little bit of tea. And this is what it is right here. So this is, it's called a matcha latte. You could add the milk, but I don't use dairy products. It kind of makes like my skin oily, so like I don't really like milks. And then also you could just get like the regular matcha, like this. Which my personal favorite is the jade leaf matcha latte, but it's all organic from Japan. And I am half Asian, and you know, and so like the ancient Chinese medicine, ancient Thailand medicine, ancient Philippine medicine, ancient Japanese or Korean medicine, that very much is in my practice. Okay. I'm going to do some crystal tapping, and I also want to use my Native American glass, which is called Apache Tear, which I had another Native American past life. He is really good to take out negative energy from your auric field and kind of slice that like this. So, and you want to do a little bit more sage, because I feel these archon, like draconian reptilian projections right now, and I don't like to embody this. I really don't like to embody their projections, so I'm going to, like earlier I felt my for instance, an example, but a real life example, like a true story example, I felt my ex-mother-in-law come into my energy field. Like she was talking about me, she was thinking of me, and those energetic frequencies I was catching on my auric body, my energy field, and I was like, okay, like go away with love kind of way, like no, I'm not sending her negative energy, but it's like, okay, go away with love, like girl, you can't be here, like bye girl, bye, like don't even mess with me today in my energy field, like bye, you know, like I don't want to deal with you. So like she was coming for me though in my energy, and I don't like that, because like I could feel it. And whether like, you know, they talk about me, you know, or they think I should be doing something, or they think about me in negative thoughts even in their own like minds. I'm such a healer, and and this is such a loosely thrown around term, I am very profoundly visionarily psychic, to the point where my gifts range from clairvoyant visions, premonitions, as well as clairsentience, psychic sensing of feeling, claircognizance, psychic knowing, clairaudience, psychic hearing, and my gifts just keep getting deeper, okay? And I was born with them, and I didn't know how to use them I didn't know really how to like use my gifts for like 40 years. It took me like 40 years to really come into my power and be like, I had to learn a lot, like to wake me up, to basically be like, okay, like all of this is like a simulation of something else in my energy, like the reptilian, archon, alpha draconians, like, you know, they vary, and like you could feel things in zaps. Like I just felt like a zap like in my back to where like it snapped off the cord that my ex-mother-in-law was using to energetically attack and project to me. And I just felt it literally zap off of my skin in my back. So that's where the hooks really catch on in your human body, your physical vessel. When people project negative energies, they kind of turn into these energetic attachments to where you will catch them on the back of your shoulder blades, the back of your neck, your back, the back of your head. So we have to be very careful, and we have to really kind of, okay, like this is my energy, this is me, that is them. And we have to do tons of smoke baths depending on how sensitive you are and spiritually ascended, because the more spiritually evolved you get, the more sensitive you become, the more you gather all of this energetic frequencies into your field. And sensitivity is not a weakness, you're just so aware. So like sensitivity is an awareness, it's an increased awareness, and it's not weakness, which unfortunately a lot of reptilian and alpha draconian and mortals on that lower vibrational realm, they will project onto you as a weakness. Sensitivity is a gift, it is not a weakness. So we are going to be using the arrowhead, and we are going to be cutting and slicing. Okay, I just kind of want to sage bath you, and then kind of like my back, and then we're going to start cutting. I'm going to start grabbing the energetic hooks that maybe are in your neck or your head or in your back too, like just how like I get them, and they really come and gather in your back to where you start having physical unfortunate back pain. So like I'm going to kind of go to your neck and slice, and I'm going to go to your head. And they're like hooked on energetically, and I see them as like these thin noodly, it's like, okay, have you ever seen like a tree branch, and you've seen lots of like little branches hooked onto that branch, and it looks almost like a DNA cord, or like a bacteria cord that you see under a microscope, with those like little branches connected, and they're like brown or they're gray or they're dark and they're murky. So this is how these energetic cords of their negative energy projections, whether it stems from the evil eye, envy, jealousy, or those other lower vibrational human emotions of competitiveness, competition, sibling rivalry, they could come in different, forms, greed, lower vibrational, like hatred, like those human mind, egotistical, lower vibrational frequencies that you don't want. Like a lot of people will subconsciously and even knowingly, consciously try to character assassinate you, and they'll try to get other people or even groups of people to see you in this negative light and ruin your character, which is called character assassination. And it could also be under the category of narcissistic triangulation abuse. So when people narcissistically triangulate you, it'll be like 3 people. Okay, whether it's 3 people attacking you or you being the third person and 2 people attacking you, and then they will use character assassination techniques to the point where they'll damage your reputation. They will spread darkness and lies, and they will try to twist them with their tongues as the truth, and they'll disguise these. They'll disguise all of this, and they will project their negativity onto your character and who they are, and then they'll almost like shapeshift it into your reality, to where like they will not only like shape how other people see you, because they could be thought pusher archons, and they will like project what they are inside and their darkness and their shadows onto your character to make you look bad. And they use like reactive abuse, tactics to get you out of your calm element, take you out of, your serenity medicine woman healer, or your healer calm vibes, and they'll try to trigger you, and they will do certain things to really pull you out of your element of calmness and out of your goddess or god energy. They will honestly, they will act like a child. And like I've seen like women who were like my ex-mother-in-law, I don't know, she was born in, I think she's like in her 60s, I've seen women who just can't even progress, like egotistically, like past the mind of like a 17 or 18 or 19-year-old, you know, and then she still acts like this. Like she's so very immature. She won't heal from her relationships. She'll relationship jump. And then she won't shed her ego, which, you know, has her vibrating down here. It may look like she's up here because she'll pick certain men to manipulate with her tongue. She'll use that coercive manipulation to the point where she's used, and she has gifts, like she's a prophetess, but she will use these negative techniques to fool people into doing her favors or doing whatever she needs to live. And she kind of like sucks on their energy. Like I've seen her like just cheat on her husband like a million times. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've seen her go from like relationships behind her husband's backs. I've seen her like slander people's characters to her son, which was my ex of 6 years we were together. He was like a spousal like husband, like he was like a false twin, but we were together for those 6 years. And I saw the way she moved, I saw the way she acted, I saw the way she planted seeds in his head. And he was a little bit, you know, when his father passed away, like he was vulnerable, and she took advantage of that vulnerability, and then she slipped right in there and then kind of told him a lot of nasty, negative, lower vibrational things about me to slowly turn him against our relationship. As well as there were others who also did their manipulation techniques to break us up. So it wasn't just her, it was just like coming from this way, this group, that group, and her. So it was like we were getting attacked by like 4 different groups. You know what I mean? So it was just like something that they projected, but then they don't think like, okay, we all reincarnate. Okay, so it's just like they don't think that they were building negative karma for themselves. And they literally were like, they're honestly building the negative karma in their next lives. So like whatever they projected out onto us will come back to them. So like it's just like you can't live like that and expect to live a good life like in your next life or even later on in your life in like your older years, because it's gonna all come back. Like, and she's had it come back. She's had it come back in her health. She's had health issues. You know, she's had a lot of things happen to her, you know, and as well as others did too. And like a lot of it, like, you know, a lot of people will be born with spiritual gifts, and unfortunately not all of them know how to use it for the greater good of mankind. They kind of operate from the lower vibrational frequencies. Like she calls herself a prophetess, and she even wrote like a prophetess diva book, but she's not using her gifts or her light for the greater gifts of mankind, the greater good of mankind. She's using it to her advantage, to where she'll take advantage of how other people see people that she doesn't like or approve of, and she'll twist the narratives of that person's character assassination, or narcissist triangulation abuse, you know, and then she'll like get these other people, she'll like pull them in, and then they'll attack you for her, which ties into narcissistic triangulation. It's like there's another word. It's like where she will get them to be angry. She'll like project it onto the person that she's talking about you to, and then she will make them angry. And this is all projections. They will embody her anger, and then they will start attacking you, whether it's attacking your personal things, attacking your relationships, attacking your character assassination, to where you won't have a reputable reputation anymore. Okay, you know, you won't be what is it? There's a word I'm looking for. Revered. You won't be revered in people's eyes. Like, so she'll project, like, you know, reverence. It's like higher than respect. Like, you know, like a real man will cherish his counterpart, his special person, his SOS. He will revere her. He will treat her like a goddess. He will put her up on a pedestal and make sure his goddess is taken care of, protected, fed, this, you know, and then so she will come along, and she doesn't like you because she's jealous or something, you know, lower vibrational mankind, 3D, lower frequency of energies, and then she will ruin and damage you in his eyes to take that whole counterpart connection away from you, and then she'll almost destiny swap you to the point where she is so manipulative, like a shrewd snake in the grass, lower vibrational, to the point where she will turn him his full like outlook of you and tell like take away all of the love, and she'll destiny swap you. So it's like your destiny could be like a soulmate who's in love with you, or a twin flame if you are a chosen twin flame, which there's like 7.5 billion people in the world, and there's only 144,000 twin flames. Okay, and a twin flame is one spirit or one soul split up into two bodies of a masculine and a feminine, a divine masculine and a divine feminine, and you make this soul pact agreement under the divine, under the godlight, under the source, and you make this pact to where you're going to come to humanity, and you have tons of lessons. Okay, they're not easy. Okay, they're very deep. They can get very real and heavy, but if you surpass the runner chaser phase, and if no karmics get involved, or no dark karmic witches get involved, or no negative energy manipulators or energy vampires get involved, and you surpass the runner chaser, then you ascend, and then you both share your love into the planet, and you can integrate that, and it's a whole force. But these lower vibrations, they will see you as a threat. They will start getting jealous. They will start projecting the evil eye, and they'll get envious. Then they'll start competing, or they'll start shape-shifting you in other people's eyes. Like, a lot of people who come for twin flames are from the darker, lower vibrational realms. They are from they do dark arts, witchery, to where, like, yeah, they're witches, they have powers, but they use them from a bad place. They don't integrate light, or maybe they haven't learned how to integrate their love from within out into the world. They don't know how to shine that out, so they're acting from a lower vibrational place. Like, they're acting from greed, they're acting from jealousy, they're acting from hatred, they're acting from envy, they're acting from any type of, like those ego minds, like lower vibrational 3D energies. This is why shamanesses, medicine women and healers, as well as Reiki masters and teachers, or spiritual teachers, come because we come to heal. We cut these cords. We come to relieve you of the pain in the everyday mortal life, because we all struggle with different issues. We all struggle. Some of us struggle more mentally. Some of us struggle more with body pain, stored trauma in the body. Some of us are recovering from accidents. Some of us, have heart problems stemming from, and all of this is a derivative of something else, to where, like, okay, if you have a lung problem or a heart problem, this goes back into childhood or adolescence, to where, okay, yes, maybe physically you had secondhand smoke and stuff like that, but that person you loved so deeply, they just, they betrayed you. Betrayal trauma is so real. They betrayed you, and you loved and cared for them so much. And, like, some of you will, like, start crying because I'll hit a nerve in this session, and you will carry that and embody that in your chakra systems and your energetic field and in your physical vessel, your body, for years. And you'll use things like alcoholism, sex addictions, other type of substances, weed. There's this popular thing going around now, which I cannot stand. It's called ice, It's just like, you'll use these to deal with what is going on deep inside of you. You will use this to mask your traumas. This is why I am here. I need to tell you about, okay, you need to feel. Do not numb yourself. Do not bury your traumas down and push them so down within you to where you're self-medicating every day and you're hurting parts of your body and you're slowly killing yourself. And, I'm living proof. Like, I'm more than a survivor. Like, I'm a warrior spirit. Angelics have been around me since I was little. My mom used to buy me angel statues when I was a little girl. She very much put the angelics around me when I was little. I was an angel incarnate for a very long time, and then it's like these people will come into your direct environment, or you'll meet people along the way that will act like, oh yeah, like, I care for you, I love you. Or it could be someone you fall in love with and you're in a full-blown relationship, but then someone who didn't like you or approve of you, or who doesn't like you for whatever reason, which will target on we're going to touch on, not targeted individuals, but just people who project on you because of your spiritual belief systems, okay, which falls under a lot of the Abrahamic religions, whether it's Catholicism, Christianity, the people who revere Allah, and so on and so forth. So it's become very worldwide spread to the point where, like, us spiritualists who are evolved and awakened and chosen, you know what I mean? They will very much target us for not going and joining with them, and then to the point where we will start getting attacked for our belief systems, and then we'll start being put in this societal norm of, he or she's crazy, I don't understand what the fuck they're talking about, so they must be nuts, they don't make sense. And then you start feeling targeted, and then you wake up the next day with like, oh my god, my neck hurts, like my head, like something's not right. And then they will project onto you because they'll be talking about you, and then that energetic cord will spread. And it, depending on how deeply spiritual you are and how sensitive to these energies and how aware, you will start absorbing these as hooks, and then they will start interfering physically in your physical vessel. So this is why I tell you it's important to cut, okay, these ties away and start in your energetic astral body field, your etheric, ethereal fields, because when you cut that away from your chakra system field, your meridians, you have meridian points all over your body, okay? And this is why, like, alternative healing, like acupuncture or, essential oils, and cutting cords and crystals and herbal plant medicines will really help you if you believe and allow it, even if you don't believe. One time when my brother was struggling really, really deep with addiction, and this is I didn't even think to even share this story because his spirit, he's very much in the house. So like when he comes to visit, like I'll think of him or I'll talk about him. So like he struggled with an addiction, okay, and my brother was a very soft soul, but he was easily influenced, unfortunately, and he kind of covered the traumas in the family with this like masked addiction, and it's really hard for me to talk about it. So like one time I heard him do this muffle snore, and I thought he was just sleeping, but then it progressed from like the morning time from like 8, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to like 1, 2, or 3 p.m. and something wasn't right. And then I remember opening the door and seeing foam come out of his mouth, and he was muffling, so like it was like an overdose, but it was not intentional. He didn't mean to, but he was just so like going through so much like trauma to the point where he was overdosing and like slowly killing his physical vessel because he couldn't deal with facing a lot of stuff in the family. You know what I'm saying? So like he would take his substance abuse and he would use this to cover his pain, which a lot of us do. And so I found him, I called 911. This is when my daughters were like 1 and 2. And then they put him in the hospital, they put him in the emergency department, then the ICU, and then I brought my crystals and I lit candles and I asked Archangel Raphael and other angelics to come and assist him out of that so he could come back to himself, because the ER and the medical doctors said that he was on the rolly bed, and they were like, that's pretty much the last point. And I just kept going to visit him with I had a huge pouch of, it was like a dark green Archangel Raphael. I had like a 7-day glass, like green candle. And I asked Archangel Raphael, and I think I even got a St. Jude candle at the time. And I put green aventurine candles and like green jasper and an apophyllite green candle. And I asked the archangels, like I prayed to them, and then I would bring crystals to his bed and I would do energetic clearings and then ask the divine to bring him back into life. And so I would do this, and I would light candles for him, and I would use my healer abilities. And so like I do firmly believe that the angelics and the divine brought him back. I really fully believe that Archangel Raphael brought my brother back the first time. The first time they did. The second time, he didn't make it. So it was just like a lot of heavy stuff, and it's like that that really impacted the family. That type of stuff impacted my nephew. It impacted my sister. It impacted me. It impacted my mother. Like, she lost her baby boy, and it hurts because, when you don't address these traumas, and excuse me, you end up killing yourself and you end up hurting people around you. So that's just something that I needed to share with you guys because I really miss my brother. He was my only brother. And he was my best friend from when I was 19 to 28. So if you're not careful to clear these cords of trauma and address your trauma, it can manifest into self-medicating, and then you could end up killing your physical vessel, and it will hurt the people around you that care about you and love you. So we are going to cut cords. And we are going to use this beautiful Reiki tower. This is actually, I got this for my first son. And it's a chakra crystal tower. As well as cutting cords with my large black tourmaline arrowhead from my Native American past life and my shamanic Indian roots, because I had a Native American tribal past life as well as an Indian past life, to where Mole was my mother, and she read cards and rune stones, and she used her healings to help integrate that into mankind. So it's important to really address your traumas and feel and process the pain without self-medication, so you don't end up killing your body and then hurting the people around you and then shortening your life. And then in your next life, if you do that, unfortunately, it's going to keep repeating itself. I'm not saying that not with death, but that trauma cord will keep repeating itself until you heal and until you address these painful things that you have to process and you have to overcome. To where my brother, actually, he kind of got influenced by a lot of darker, lower vibrational entities masked in people. And, he was a really good soul. The family dog is actually my brother's dog. And her soul is very good, like his soul was. And he was very a soft soul. He had a soft heart. And I really believe that he was targeted, and he was the easy they picked on him and they latched onto him to the point where it just overtook my brother. He's in spirit, but he's just not here anymore. It's I cannot hug him. I cannot see him every day. So it's just a lot. Did not mean to get all choked up, you guys. I'll be fine, okay? This is just part of the human experience, okay? And it's okay to release and cry, and it's okay to go out into the woods and shout. It's okay to go out into the woods and make sure no one's around and someone else is with you, and they'll throw a plate and then you shoot the plate. You need to release. You need to not hold things in, because when you hold things in, that creates blockages, that creates trauma, that creates self-addiction, self-medication, to where you start self-medicating with these toxins you put in your body, and then before you know it, you're so lost to the point where you end up killing your body. And then it's you're gonna eventually have to be reborn and then face those same traumas from your past life, and then it affects people around you. And then if you never heal, you're gonna keep hurting people. And it's even if it's not your intention and it's your own issue, Unfortunately, that is what it is, okay? So it's important to really get real with yourselves and be like, okay, what are shadow aspects of myself, the subconscious desires? What are some of the darker parts of myself that I need to work on? What is really buried underneath all of this? Why am I smoking every day? Why am I drinking every day? Why do, I have a sex addiction or something? Or like, I'm just using these as an examples, okay? Like, you need to really get real with yourself so you can heal and so you can vibe higher, and you can like really like integrate and really evolve as a person, evolve spiritually, and fight to become the best version of yourself. But it's not even a fight, like you can just heal, So this is probably cold now, my matcha. So it was kind of a deeper session today. And the next session, I am going to be doing a deep cleanse, and I'm going to be using this. Okay, so this is very important, but we're going to wait till the next session, you guys. We're going to use this in the next session. So continue with me on the journey. We are all waking up. We are all evolving. The most important thing is learning, okay? And then healing, right? And becoming the best version of ourselves than we were 15, 20 years ago, or even than yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Self-forgiveness, healing, becoming aware, growing, and becoming the best you, and then creating or being the co-creator of your life. I want to do a deep cleanse, but this is going to be in one of my next videos. I love you guys, and lots of light to you. And I'm going to leave a link down below to my Cash App, because I am accepting donations for my healing abilities, my gifts, my Reiki, shamaness, knowledge, wisdom, my spiritual teacher, ascension, advice and wisdom to you. The sun is coming out, so it's like very important to have that sun god Ra energy, RA. So like, he comes and he illuminates the darkness. He calls you into your power of the god or the goddess. He really gets you out of the darkness, out of that lower vibrational gunk of traumas, or of just like people who maybe brought you trauma that you didn't ask for, that was like unwarranted, like you didn't ask for it, like you were just, or people who hold you in a state of disadvantage because they see like an old version of you, and they'll see that version of you forever and they can't get past it, which it's not really fair, but that's how they see you. And then it's kind of like, okay, this is my energetic bubble. I am fortified. I am protected. That is them. This is me. And that is kind of what it is. And then you've got to fortify and protect your energetic boundaries. And that's why you come to my videos, and then I can teach you how to do this. I could cut the cords with my medicine woman, Reiki, shamaness, healing gifts. Use my beautiful crystals and Mother Gaia's herbs and her plant medicines to better help you. So I know I said I was going to do a deep cleanse, but I will. Today was a deeper session of cleansing. And if you see herbs in my hair, this is probably rue herb because like I like to put this, I like to do like washes in the shower, and I like to pour Mother Gaia's plant medicine over my head. So like you'll see rue or angelica or bits of Quita Maldición, or bits of Yagruma, or bits of mullein, or even bits of miracle leaf of life, Siempre Viva. That's the name of it. That's one of my favorites. Siempre Viva is one of my favorite plants, and it's so hard where I am to get it. But they have them, I think, on like eBay and maybe Amazon. But if you don't know, get the leaf of life. It's called Siempre Viva in like Latin. And you get that, and then you boil it, like, and then you make it a plant wash, and then you cool it, obviously, and then you pour it over your crown chakra. And then you can announce things like, okay, negative energy vibes, leave me, or whatever you feel like is archonically connected to your body, like any projections. You could do this with Yagruma. Yagruma will cleanse out the evil eye from your physical vessel, that hook in spiritual from other people's energetic vibrations, like their thoughts, their words. You could even get some mullein or some angelica You could put it in like a sack like this. You could sleep with it under your pillow. You could put a black obsidian, a snowflake obsidian. You could put a Apache tear, a black tourmaline. You know, I have a lot of knowledge. Like I've had a lot of lives, so I'm very ascended, and I know about how to heal and integrate healing not only in the spirit but also in the body. So I love you guys, and I like went over time. I'm so sorry if these feel like history assignments. There's just like a lot that I need to express to help on, you know, to spiritually teach you and help you maybe on, you know, evolve on your spiritual journey. So I love you guys. If you can make a donation, I would appreciate it, as well as subscribe. And I will leave my Instagram link below as well. Sending lots of love, sending lots of truth, and sending lots of ascension light shamaness guides. Blessed be.